Hi everyone, hi YouTube. Okay, so this is the second attempt to make this video. Hi everyone, I just made a video and I went to watch it back on my phone and guess what, it didn't work. So this is the third attempt of making a video for YouTube. I made one a couple of weeks ago and I had some great evidence on there, and I was talking about a lot of stuff that I wanted to get out my system and get you guys, and I had orbs on there and everything, and I had one really bright orb that come right up to the camera and I was so chuffed and I was really excited to get it on YouTube, and I tried to upload it 3 times and it got a 99%. I waited hours and it was like, error, sorry, error. And then I messed up my memory card, and my memory card got broke for no reason, and so the video is now long gone, and it was like I wasn't supposed to get that on YouTube. So this is my third attempt. Okay, like I said, I've just done one and it just wouldn't work. No reason why, however, but it just wouldn't work. This is what I'm constantly dealing with, guys, you know. I've been having a lot of battles lately, and so I have not uploaded. I've been away for a week, but I've been quite ill with anemia, one thing and another, all these battles that I'm trying to fight constantly. I just wanted to make a video today, kind of saying how annoying this world is with everything going on. I mean, obviously I'm from the UK, and you've had these attacks in the last couple of months. One in Manchester, 2 in London, and it's just so awful, isn't it? I mean, the masses are clearly deceived by everything that's seen on the mainstream media. They don't question it. I find it quite annoying. Nobody seems to listen to me much, but basically, when the Paris attacks happened and they said they were going to let refugees and everything in here, we basically said this was going to happen on Facebook. And we said, these attacks are going to start happening over here. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. And yes, they've started happening over here and nobody seems to remember. Nobody seems to equate to what I'm saying at all. It's an awful thing, I find it hard going on Facebook. And it's just this narrative being spread all the time. And it's like emotional blackmail, isn't it? Everyone sees what they see on the media and they believe it, and they're all putting out heartfelt messages and pray for London, pray for Manchester. And yes, of course, I care about people. I agree with them. But at the same time, they're not critically analysing any situations, It's so annoying when you can see the manipulation going on and you know that this shouldn't be happening in the first place. Like I was saying on the other video, I used to work, not a coincidence I'm sure, but I used to work event security. I've worked at Newcastle Arena before, and big events, and I'm very surprised that even happened, put it that way. People that were there have said the security wasn't as tight as it should be. There you go. This is what I'm trying to say to people. Okay, the government is not as silly as it makes out to be. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but I don't believe this is happening for a second. I don't believe that this is all just genuinely happening for a second. Okay, and I just don't believe it's as simple as that. Can you? I mean, obviously a lot of people do believe it's as simple as that, but I seriously can't. Okay, let's just stop and think for a minute here. Let's just stop and look around for a few minutes, okay? Look at what's actually happening. Look at what we're being told and look at the ramifications from this. Okay, look what's going to be put in place from this now. Excuse that, that's just damp on my wall. But yeah, you've got to try and think critically, guys, because they're getting us by the short and curlies here. And it's happened. It's already happened, okay? What's the next thing that's going to happen? I mean, they're telling you to go out. Don't let this disrupt you. Go and live your life. Okay, but to be honest, if I was the government, I'd be saying, right, I wouldn't attend any big events. If this was genuine, I would be saying, right, keep away from big events, boycott the big events. Let's not have any big events anymore. If it was down to saving people's lives or down to risking it, I'd say don't go. Wouldn't you? You know, guys, you know, and it's so annoying. I just find it hard relating to anybody anymore, because there's like 3 different perceptions going on in this world, whether people realize it or not. There's the mainstream perception of, oh, nothing's happening, everything's perfectly fine, we're all being victimized by ISIS. There's the people that know some things and they realize that this shouldn't be going on. There's people that realize a whole lot of it, you know, and realize what the big plan is all about at the end of the day, and why it's even happening, and how come, why would the government lie about such a thing? Well, you'd be surprised why governments would lie about such things, okay? I mean, the things that people don't realize is these tactics have been going on for years and years and years, okay? It's a way they bring people together, isn't it? It's a way that they, what's the word, kind of cauterize people into whatever they want them to be in, basically. They spread fear, they spread panic, and they say, right, do this and we'll keep you safe. When, in fact, you know, truth be known, could these events be happening? Could these events be genuinely happening without the government's knowledge? I mean, think about it. We've got MI5, MI6. Okay, in America, you've got the CIA, which I don't think is a good organization, right? But there's all these central intelligence agencies, and oh yeah, apparently now the terrorists in the Manchester attacks were known to the police, and the London attacks, apparently, I'm not even sure if I'm being right there, but some of them were known to the police and they didn't think they were going to do anything like that. So I you know, I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, if they knew about them and they didn't know they were going to do an attack, then what good is the intelligence agency? Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you see where I'm coming from? Okay, this is so annoying. It's just like the government's just like, we'll do what we want and then we'll tell people that this is what's happened. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, this is what it feels like to me. And it's heartbreaking to see people being brainwashed by this stuff and 100% believing it, you know, when it shouldn't even be happening in the first place. Just like 9/11, okay? It shouldn't even be happening, okay? Surely you guys know, right, that there's all kinds of safety in England and America. Surely the rightful way of thinking would be, right, if 2 planes were heading towards the World Trade Center, they would be intercepted, wouldn't they, by the military, by government agencies to do anything to stop them getting to the trade towers. Yes. Of course, that didn't happen. You see what I mean, people? You see what I mean? You've got to start thinking clearly about this stuff, otherwise we are knackered. Okay? I'm not even saying this lightly, okay? We are practically knackered as it is. These things are just going to get worse, I'm afraid. And that's until the government make big changes. And then big changes are not going to be to support our way of life, ladies and gentlemen, are they? Come on now, all right? And it's so awful what's happening. Nobody's got the guts to say anything. Nobody knows what to say. You know, we're all being told different narratives or the same narrative so that it looks real or whatever. And yet we're dissecting it and we're finding out so many holes in these stories, it's unreal. Okay, if you really look at the real information that's given out, it's got holes all over it. Okay, it's not... doesn't ring true, a lot of it, okay? Doesn't even really ring true. I mean, some of the stuff you see and some of the stuff that's happened in the emotions that are portrayed, they're all wrong for a start. Okay, you can't, like Russian business, you can't fake real, okay? When you've been through stuff, you know how you're going to react to stuff. I mean, there was a guy, I think it was a London bridge attack the other night, and he said he's seen a girl get stabbed about 15 times, and he was standing there quite calmly telling the cameras this. You know, I was saying to my partner, surely if you'd seen a girl get stabbed 15 times, you would be in tears. Surely it would emotionally affect you. But this guy was fine, you know, perfectly calm, as they always are, reporting on these events, you know, and something's not right, people. You've got to have a look around and tell me, look into this, right, and tell me that that's all real and all genuine, because I don't believe for a second that it is, and I think we are being hoodwinked big time, okay, big time, all right? Do you know, right, the state of manipulation that they're trying to pass off here? These are techniques that have been around for years. These are mind control kind of techniques. These are stuff that were used by the Nazis years ago, Okay, this is not light stuff we're talking about. We are talking about real mental warfare here. Emotional blackmail, infiltrating everybody. Okay, infiltrating people's families, infiltrating people's lives. This has not happened by accident. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but this stuff has not happened by accident. For all the great power England and America's got, look at us. Look at us. We are on the floor being kicked in the head by supposed ISIS terrorists from the Middle East. Okay? From the Middle East. Think about it. Middle East. Think about England and America. Do you now still think that that's a real thing? Okay? If they weren't being allowed or helped in some sense by the governments. Okay? I know it sounds unreal, believe me, I know it does, and it sounded unreal to me when I found out all about it back in like 2011, 2010 or something. Okay, but I kept watching and I kept wondering, and look what it's got now. Look at the stage it's at now. You know, we're being taken over. We're at war. We are already at war. Okay, whether you like it or believe it or not. Okay, we are at war by being attacked on the ground. All right, we're not at war with airplanes and bombs yet, but we are being at war on the ground. The civilians are being attacked, which is the late stages of war, actually. Okay, you got to think about this, guys. I'm serious. This is really winding me up. Okay, and I don't want another load of people to die because the government's let it happen, basically, because I believe this is the truth, guys. Yeah, I do. Hey, look at America. Look at all the stuff that's happened over here. Go and look into the events that happened in America. Go and look into Sandy Hook. Go and look into all these shootings that supposedly happened, all right? There's a load that I could reel off, but I can't even remember now because I'm really tired. But go and have a look into them. The kids that supposedly died at Sandy Hook, were at it was a Super Bowl or something huge, a huge event a few years later. And I watched the video and you can clearly see that they're the same kids that supposedly died in the Sandy Hook. There's close-ups of the face comparing them. Okay, these are the same kids. These kids didn't die. Okay, so they're doing this to instill fear and manipulation in people. Okay, people. Just the way that sounded, but you know, really, you need to look into this. Okay, this is not just made up bullshit, and everyone gets, you know, people get really offended, and this is another reason why that we can't speak out, you know, because people automatically, oh no, you're being disrespectful, you're being horrible. No, we're trying to wake people up and we're trying to tell you the truth here. Yes, it's horrible to speak ill of the dead, and yes, we have respect, of course we do, yeah, but we've got more respect for everybody, okay, than to let people be lied to, let people be manipulated, let them be blown up, for God's sake. Okay, the governments across the world are very manipulative, okay, everybody, and we need to wake up and start looking around before something else happens and someone else gets blown up. I mean, I live in the northeast of England, we've got the Gay Pride in Newcastle next week, and a lot of us are betting that's going to be a huge target. I mean, I've had to tell my daughter to tell her friends at school to not to go, you know, that's what I've basically done. I've said, look, if you've got any friends that are going there, tell them not to go. And she was on about some of her friends wanted to go yesterday, and I was like, right, well, tell them if they have to go, tell them to sit out on the sidelines because they do not want to be in the thick of it. Okay, the likelihood is nothing might happen, and this is what keeps happening. Something happens and then nothing happens, and it's all to do with the fear of it, yeah. It's quite possible that nothing will happen, but I'd rather not have my friends and family's lives risked, you know? You know, it's like they said, well, there was a rumour going around that they were targeting schools like they did last year. I said, right, I put on Facebook, okay, if that's the case, I'm keeping my daughter off school. It's not worth losing my daughter, is it? You know, this is, people, you've got to think about your safety, okay? You've got to think realistically and think about how we're being manipulated, because I'm sorry, but we're being completely manipulated here, all right? 2017... and apparently our security forces and our protection is on the ground. It's that weak that we're being attacked in our own cities, for God's sake. So is the USA, and we have been for years, by these terrorists from the Middle East. Do we believe this? Okay, people, I want you to really think about this. I love you all. And I will do a follow-up video if this video manages to actually get up on YouTube about, you know, the stuff I was already talking about the stuff I know and the stuff I've learned in life. But for now, guys, I'm going to say goodbye, and fingers crossed, God willing, that this video gets up on YouTube, because now I'm thinking it's not letting me make videos at all, and that's really annoying me. So, God willing, guys, this will be up. Thank you very much. Like I say, I'll be back in the next couple of weeks making another follow-up video of the stuff I was already talking about. And I will see you soon. God bless, guys. Stay vigilant. Take care. Bye-bye.